Greetings, everybody. How y'all feeling today? Taking a walk, relaxing, watching everything going on around the world. At the end of the day, it all comes down to about having common sense. We can know what's right and what's wrong. I sit back and I watch how the world is revolving, how everybody is moving, how people are not paying attention. And we're living in a crazy time right now where we have leaders of this country falsifying information to the public, and a lot of people don't fact check the information. Now, this is not about whether you're a Republican or Democrat or conservative or liberal, or from you from the right or from you from the left. Everything is based off on common sense. Being a human dignity. We sit here and see the shutdown. A lot of people don't understand because there's so much stuff being put out on the internet these days that are not fact checked. People are just making all kind of memes, and people who don't believe, who are stubborn, they rather ride that wave, and then when it crash, they want to say, well, I didn't know. Well, I know one thing for sure. The Affordable Care Act for health care for a lot of people in this country. Some didn't even know that affordable, the ACA was Obamacare. Families are paying good rates. And all the Democrats is asking for them to extend the tax credit on the Affordable Care Act. Which the Republicans wishing not to do, because most families that pulled it up, knowing if they're paying $309 now, and if the tax credit is not extended, they'll be paying $900, $1,200. Where does that money go to? Now, we're not going to get into who's doing what. But everything comes down to is common sense. Common sense with VANSILK. We need to read into what's going on. Now, everybody have an opinion. Everybody have a social media page. Everybody has the way of expressions. But it's only two ways it can go. Either we right or we wrong. When I sit back and look at the President of the United States sit up here and talking about how Portland is burning, and we sending out the ICE agents and the military and sending out to Chicago. Now, we know Chicago have its flaws. But what about the mass shooting of late in the state of Texas? Mass murders. What about the shooting in Mississippi? 4 dead, 20 shot. It's up to the governors if they want the National Guards on the street. But for you to sit up here and falsify information, it's not right, because a lot of people were not intelligent enough to go and check. You had a picture of Portland, Oregon up. That was wrong. The picture was of Policia. Policia is not in the United States. Then they want to say, oh, it was a volunteer that posted it. But when you can sit up here and fabricate information to your followers, and it seems strange how Facebook, X, they're not fact checking, they're not censoring people. The language has become belligerent online. And people believe what so-called platforms are putting out without saying, hey, let me check this out. Let me see what's true and not true. Now, regardless of who you voted for, we still living in the horror story of tariffs. Oh, the United States in 8 months, we got 17 trillion in tariffs. Then now yesterday, we have 18 trillion that's promised. Where these numbers are coming from, we have a Department of Justice who's out here taking orders from the President of the United States. We have the FBI, who the Department of War, or Peter, Fox News weekend reporter, running the Pentagon. You got Patel with the FBI, the Epstein report. You have a senator that won that haven't been sworn in. Now you have the whole Congress is on another break because of certain things. Common sense. When is it going to become based off common sense? Now, you're entitled to feel how you want. You're entitled to say what you want. But hashtag FAFO stands for a reason. Now we're hearing people talk, well, this is not what I voted for. What did you vote for? Do you know what you actually voted for? Did you think because the color of your skin was going to justify family members not getting deported as immigrants? This is a country full of immigrants. And it's funny to say, yes, Mexican has been targeted, Hispanic, and anybody who of that ethnicity has been targeted. But so you mean to tell me there's no Russian immigrants, there's no European immigrants here in this country living here and not being attacked? Because it's an attack by an agency called ICE. Guys running around with their face covered up. I always wonder, who are these ICE agents? Are they really ICE agents, or are they just some guys who was given the tools to go and do what they do and bring them to the proper authorities and let them handle the rest? Because you don't know who they are because they all covered. Half of them look like they're all from racist, I'm going to say this word, racist organizations. Some of them got tattoos. Watch what the tattoos say. But I always felt that when you got the loudest microphone, everybody's going to listen. Smart people will listen, but the smart people will understand. Okay, here he goes again. Attorney General of New York has been indicted by a prosecutor who has never handled a case in this magnitude of her life. Pam Bondi didn't even know that this young lady went and filed the papers in Virginia to indict Letitia James, which is probably not going to hold up because basically the retribution, the vendetta is out here. He says it out of his mouth. He's going after Democrats, platforms, and things to cancel. Every time you turn around, they always want to bring up Hunter Biden. and Joe Biden. Or they ran a criminal organization. Well, Homeland Security, Tom, $50,000. Oh, it was done before I got here. Well, you in charge now. Pamela Bondi, you the same person that dropped the case against Trump in Florida, Trump University, because how much he donated to your campaign. And now you become the head cop, Department of Justice. Understand one thing. There's only one person that the Supreme Court gave immunity to, and that is Trump. The rest of y'all can go to jail. So, all the stuff that y'all doing in the red states are redistricting certain areas so y'all can get more seats. God is going to look at this and say, nah. A lot of federal judges are saying, nah. You just can't make up you can't say, I'm going to go outside and I'm going to start a fight. I'm going to start these two people to argue. I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to look outside my window. Then I'm going to come outside 5 minutes later and I'm going to break it up. But you're the one who started it. And see, this is what people don't realize. He's starting and creating false narratives just to use his power to bring in the National Guards. The next one, what is going to be next? An insurrection? What's going to happen when next year come around when it gets close to midterms? What we going to have? No votes? They're doing everything possible to keep this man in office because once the Democrats get the majority, he only going to have one term because impeachment's going to come. You're going to have a lot of things that's going to get done because everything he's done in the last year or 9 months, it's going to take years to unravel. It's me. I wish Garland would have did his job when he was in office. You procrastinated. You got these big corporations folding under pressure. You're being blackballed. You're being extorted. And they all run around here like there's nothing going on. There's nothing happening. Because nobody's using common sense. I'm not an expert in politics. I'm just an expert in being what's right and what's wrong. When are we going to start using common sense as Americans? Don't we have a lot of Americans? Well, let me rephrase that. We have a lot of so-called Americans who really wishing this man could be a dictator. But see, those people don't really want a dictator. They just trying to cover their grounds of like, I really don't, this man is really hurting me financially. The food prices are up. Gas is never going to go below $2. Stock market is down. Guess everybody found that out this past Friday. But where's the common sense? Whether you right or you wrong, where's the common sense? What have this administration done that will make me happy? Well, I'm going to say one thing. One thing I do agree upon was the whole EBT food stamp system. There were a lot of people that was getting food stamps. And yeah, you took the sugar product. You can no longer get sugar-based products on food stamps, which is a great thing because we live in a country of obesity. I don't see how anybody can get $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month in food stamps and don't have a job. And not even that they're getting money on top of that. You have to excuse the vehicles coming through. And you have people out here who are suffering, who really need the food, the elderly, the veterans. And this is supposed to be a country that we help everybody, we still have the war with Russia and Ukraine. But meanwhile, you're profiting off American soil. You're profiting off America. But your family's supposed to be handling it. But how are we going to open a base for Qatar, United States soil? Where are we going with this administration? If we looked at the first go-round with the first administration that he had when he was in office, damn near how many of them went to jail and went to prison? Blamed all of them. When it hits the fan, it's not his. He don't know. I don't know any. You claim to know everything, but when there's things that make to say you implicated, you don't know anything. Can't have it both ways. But when you are the most powerful man in this world, you can do whatever you want. And when you have a base of people that follow you because you created your own platform, and you can post what you want and say what you want, there's nobody in your administration that have the backbone to say, hey, enough is enough. All you Republicans, you know what's right and you know what's wrong. All you Democrats, you know what's right and you know what's wrong. But when you are not in charge of the three branches, the Republicans are in charge of the three branches. They're on vacation again because of certain things they don't want to happen, because of implications. You're protecting a person that really don't care about nobody but himself. And then when it really hits the fan, when the game change and this administration is no longer in power, and like Governor Newsom said, if we don't get it right, there won't be an election in 2028. A lot of your people are sitting on your hands. You're not saying nothing because you feel, oh, well, I'm just going to wait till it's time to vote. First of all, you should have an ID issued by the state that you live in. And I don't understand any grown adult walking around that don't have a proper ID. How are you able to do a lot of things and travel on a plane and train and the way this world is set up now without having a proper ID? We got to look at the nucleus of what's going on right now. This is November. Coming up, October 10th. And we're going to watch and see how this all going to play out by the new year. But listen to all you protesters. Don't go out there committing violence because that's all he wants. And we know there might be actors going into certain states causing things to give him that opportunity. The police department need to really step their game up. National Guards, during the situation, the military have no business on the streets. And as far as they was talking about bringing in the 82nd Airborne into Portland, for what? But this is the world we live in under this administration. This is VANSILK. Common sense with VANSILK. I'll be back to talk to y'all at a later time. Y'all have a blessed day.